Welcome to another episode of The Boss Show. Today, I'm really proud to be present my old friend, my guest. He is top investor from South Africa, and I'm sure you will love him because his know-how, experience, expertise. He is the best from South Africa. So please introduce yourself to our community again.
Okay, thanks so much, Tim. My name's Aslam Du Toit, and I'm based in Johannesburg in South Africa. And thank you so much for inviting me back onto your podcast.
Is it? Can you share our community about what you do, what you did until you become the man like you today?
Okay, it was a long journey. I actually read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes, sir.
I think many of us read those books. So I read the book many years ago. And at the time I finished university, I was working my first job, and I was frustrated because I thought, I have all these qualifications, but why, I'm still not making enough money. What's the problem? And I realized that, working a job, you don't get to experience that financial freedom that you want. So I started different types of businesses when I was younger. I tried many businesses, traditional business. I had a vehicle business at first, and then I got into property investing, which I still do up to this day. I've run fast food franchises. I invested in fast food franchises as well. And I was doing this all the time while I was still having a full-time job because I was a banker. I used to work in commercial and corporate banking. And later on, about 2014 or so, I got involved with network marketing. And I was struggling with that business. I didn't know how to find leads for the business. So I started learning online marketing, and then using online marketing, that business started becoming very successful. But I realized I can use those skills to grow any kind of online business. So that is how my journey sort of evolved over the years, from being a full-time employee, running traditional businesses. And I saw the challenges, because most people, we have a job. And when we have a job, sometimes we have these aspirations that we want to become a business person. But how do you become a business person when you don't have the time? Because remember, when you're at your job, you owe your time to your boss.
Yes, sir.
Your boss is paying your salary. So when you open a traditional business, I found that it's very difficult to give time to your business as well. So that's why, for me, I have a belief that someone who's working full-time job, they should be rather building online businesses, because that is something, when you get home after your work day, after the long day at work, you can still sit at home and build your business. But how do you do that if you are trying to open a traditional business that requires you to be doing things during your working hours? It doesn't work very well.
I think so. Can you feel like me in nowadays in 2023, right? Each man have only one job. That is not enough. That is not enough. And then when the man like us need to start business, right? We always think about we need to have big capital to start business. Can you have suggestion for new business owner, new entrepreneur to fix in this situation? How we can start business without no money? Do you have any idea about that?
Yes. So, if someone has a job and maybe they have limited capital, these days, we have this thing here. I see my screen is blurred, but the cell phone. The cell phone is probably one of the best business instruments that we have in our time, because we didn't have this when I got started. So one of the easiest businesses you can start is by using your cell phone and creating content around the business that you want to build. So, for example, if someone is good at, baking, create a baking channel. Create a baking channel on YouTube. Start making content. If someone is good at real estate, like you and I, we are in real estate. Start creating content about real estate. If you are someone that's good at playing golf, start creating content around golf, because that content, you will be able to monetize it in time. Once you build an audience, you are going to build an audience around people that are passionate about the same thing that you are passionate about. And you don't need any money to start that type of business. All you need is a cell phone. And yes, later on, when you become more advanced and you want to really, put out your branding and you want to look professional, and then yes, it's going to take a little bit of money, and you set up your website and you can set up your funnels and, all the fancy stuff. But in the beginning, it's as simple as just using your cell phone and start building an audience on social media.
Yes, sir. That correct. Can you feel like me when we start the first time? Can you remember about the first clip video? For me, you will not believe the final clip is about 2 minutes, but I practice to talk from the morning until evening. I think 8 hours for first clip. And now when I try to create the content, it's just open camera. And I want to become the business owner like you, like your style. You don't want to be the perfect on camera. Can you?
No, you don't want to be perfect on camera. You don't want to be perfect on camera. I just want to make sure, am I still visible on your side? Because on my side, it seems that somehow my screen, I don't see you anymore.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if I'm still visible, then it's fine. We carry on. Okay, so yes, content doesn't need to be perfect. I have a saying that I always tell my students. I say, done is better than perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Just get it done.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Some of my students always think about that. They need to perfect for camera, what kind of camera they need to use, what kind of microphone they need to use, what the right band they need to use. But the fan is not like that. Your audience not care about how you look, but they care about how your knowledge, how you can help business, something like that. Can you feel like me?
You are 100% correct. Your audience doesn't care about whether your camera is perfect. They don't care about whether you look like a movie star, whether you have a Ferrari in your videos. What they care about is your message. They care about your message, and they care about how you can help them. One of my coaches, one of my mentors once taught me that, I don't know how you say it in your country, but in terms of school, it goes grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to grade 12 when we speak about school. So he used to always tell me that, a third grader, someone that's in the third grade of school, doesn't look at the person who's in 12th grade and say, I want to be like him. He looks at the person who's in the grade just above him, the 4th grade, and he wants to be like the person in the next level. So people are just trying to get to the next level. They can't see way beyond that level. They're just trying to get through the next step. So your job when you create content is not to be perfect. Your job is just to create the content, put it out into the marketplace, and people will find you and they will like your message. And those are the people that will eventually become your customers.
Mm-hmm. Let me confirm what you say that correct. For me, I get, okay, today we focus about how to make business online without money, right? For me, I can generate income first 10,000 before I have 1,000 subscribers. Someone, somehow, they always think they can have money from YouTube, like the advertising, right? But I can tell every new entrepreneur, don't think like that. That is true, but it's only few money from the YouTube. The YouTube can help you to be the show how you are expert. And then you just share what you know and help people. And your next customer will become to you. Your next partner will become to you. Today, I try to watch and study deep in your website. I saw some course online. Can you tell about your course online regarding about lifestyle entrepreneur bootcamp? Can you show with me?
Okay, so yes, the course was created. I've actually got a free webinar. People can watch the free webinar. You just go to aslamdutoit.com and you can watch the Lifestyle Entrepreneur webinar. It's a free webinar. It's 90 minutes long. And it actually explains my entire journey in real estate and business and how I eventually got involved with online business. And the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Bootcamp, the course that I have, is basically the result of all of that experience, because I basically took all the experience that I had, because I was watching very wealthy people. And what was happening was, I used to see they always had something in common. They always had what I call a cash cow. They had a business that was making them money, and they used to take the money from that business and they used to put it into their investments. And this is what I teach also in the webinar, in the free webinar. Because what a lot of people do, like I get a lot of people coming to me on social media, and I'm sure for you it's the same. People come to me from social media and they tell me, I have so much of money, I want to invest. And sometimes they want to invest with me in real estate deals. And with some of the real estate deals that we do, it requires quite a lot of capital. So they can't get involved, because I don't want to take that person's, the last of their money, put it into a real estate deal where it's going to be stuck for the next 5 to 10 years, because real estate is a very long-term investment. So what I normally tell them is, I say, you know what, if I were you, I would rather take that money, a portion of it, and I will rather start an online business. And when you start that online business, you put in effort, and as you make more money, you can then have additional capital to now put into the investments that you want to make. So the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Bootcamp, the course is all about teaching people how to do that step by step. How does a person who's working a full-time job with limited capital start creating an income using the knowledge that is already in their heads? I don't necessarily believe you must open a business that you are passionate about, but I do believe you must open a business that you have some knowledge about. Because if you don't have knowledge about something, it's going to make it much harder for you. You can start any business, that you don't have knowledge on. It's just going to take you longer. So instead of struggling for years trying to figure out, for example, I'm not good at fixing taps. I'm not a plumber, So for me to go and open a plumbing business might not be the best idea, because I still need to learn that business. I can do it, but it's going to take me a while. But for me to open a business around real estate, it's much easier for me. Why? Because the knowledge is already there. So the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Bootcamp is about teaching people how to identify your strengths that you already have, that you already possess inside of you, and then take those strengths, those interests, those skills, and then turn that into a business that you can work from anywhere in the world. Because we have the internet. Like I said, the cell phone is one of the most powerful tools we have. But we also have an internet connection. So something I love about online business is that you can do it from wherever you are. I can run my online business whether I sit in South Africa or whether I sit in Hawaii. The same with you. You have a YouTube channel, you're growing your channel. It doesn't matter whether you are sitting in Asia shooting your videos or whether you're sitting in New York shooting your videos. It's a business you can take wherever you are. So that is why I call this the Lifestyle Entrepreneur Bootcamp, not because you're not going to work. People sometimes misunderstand the concept that, I'm just going to be a lifestyle entrepreneur, I'm going to do no work and I'll make money. No. What it means is you have the flexibility to work on your own time, your own hours, and wherever you want. because normal working hours is from 8 in the morning till 5 p.m. But for me, in the morning, I'll give you an example. I don't start my morning working. I start my morning with some meditation. I start my morning off with some reading. Then I drop my daughter off at school. Then I go to the gym. I spend some time in the gym. And then when I get back, I start my work day at whichever time suits me. But I can work sometimes until 10 p.m. in the evening because I have that flexibility. And that is what being a lifestyle entrepreneur is all about, being able to dictate your own terms and dictate your own income and do things whenever you want. So that is what that course is all about. It teaches you step by step how to become a lifestyle entrepreneur using the skill and knowledge that is already inside of you.
What is make your course different from another guru on the social media? You have the case study that can you show to our community how it look like, how it work, and the most important, what the result when you study the knowledge from you, what the end result.
Okay, so that's a good question. So let's first cover what makes it different. So I myself went through many courses when I was learning this, because in the country where I am from, this knowledge is not just available. We don't have it here. Like most people don't understand online business. Okay, so what basically happens is people, I'm looking at the message here in the corner. Okay, so I had to go and learn from American coaches and mentors, and I paid a lot of money. And what I saw was I had to do maybe 5 courses to learn everything that I know. What I tried to do with this course, I tried to put everything that I know into one course. So it's a very long course. I say it's 8 weeks, but it can take some people longer to go through it. But it covers everything step by step from start to finish. I have one student that is having a lot of success. I actually posted about her on my Facebook page last week. She's only been with me for a short while, and I was telling her, create videos, this is what I want you to do. And now within 2 weeks, she's already been featured in an article by an online newspaper. They called her and they said, we want to feature you. And imagine what that is going to do for her brand when she starts building her own business, because she started doing that now. So that is the power of, and what she's done is take an existing skill and passion, and now she's turned that into her business. So imagine what's going to happen. That's only 2 weeks. Imagine what's going to happen, in the next 6 weeks or in the next 2 months. She's already going viral on TikTok because of the content she's creating, and it's all because of the coaching sessions that we have. So I think that's what makes it different. You're getting a lot more for the value. I honestly know that for the training I got, it cost me over $5,000. And I know that I'm giving people a lot of value because it's a fraction of the cost, But at the end of the day, it's the person's decision. And it also counts, is the person taking action? Because you can buy the best course in the world, but if you don't take any action, you will not get any result.
Yes, I agree with you. My Shifu Dunlop, he is the king of high ticket sale. He always talk about people is not the same. Knowledge, know-how, if we put in the table, one man study, the result is not the same. Or you put in equal or you put out. Even though we have the best knowledge, right? But if our students not come with the commitment, they just come to pay money and hope it will be happen. I don't think so. That is not true. We need to work hard. We need to work hard. We need to consistency. We need to do it again, repeat action again and again. I love your course, and I really love your course. Now, can you show with our community about the investment in South Africa again?
Okay, so look, in South Africa, I focus mostly on, I invest in many things. I invest in real estate. I also invest on the stock market because I believe you must be diversified with your investments. I even invest in things like cryptocurrency. But when it comes to investing in South Africa, I think you have to choose. If people are looking from outside, they need to choose which area they want to invest in and the type of asset, because there are so many different asset classes in the real estate world. My focus, as much as I do residential, I focus a lot on commercial property because that's where most of my experience is. So I'm more in favor of commercial property because I believe that, you know, if you do a big transaction, it takes the same amount of time if you do a small transaction. So why not just do a big transaction? You know, so what we do is, we just took transfer, for example, of a commercial property. It's got about 14 units and it's got some retail stores. And we've got investors that want to come in there with us. We are very selective, however, with the investors that work with us. It is not something we open up to anyone. So we first interview anyone who wants to invest with us, because we want people to understand that with real estate, it's long-term investing. It's not the same like when you are selling fast-moving consumer goods. You know, we are not selling bottled water or cool drinks or sodas. We are, this is real estate. So the return, it takes many years, and we use debt to obtain from the banks. So as long as people understand that these are long-term investments, then we accommodate them. Otherwise, if they're not investing with us, what I also do through my website, thepropertydealmaker.com, we introduce people to other opportunities. We might not be the ones, the jockey that's or the sponsor of that opportunity, but we show and teach people how to analyze the deal, how to make sure it's profitable before they get involved. So we give them the skills to make their own decisions so that they can invest in real estate on their own. So those are the two angles that we have. One is you can invest with us, but it's very limited. We don't allow just anyone to come in. And number two, we will give you the skills so that you can go and do the investments on your own and you can assess the transactions on your own. So it's a skill set you can take throughout your life.
Okay, let me clarify this issue. I think is really helpful for our audience. What is different? What is the reason? Please give me top 3 the reason why we need to choose the commercial and then versus the home, residential home, 1-bedroom story. What is different? Can you give me the reason?
So there are many reasons, and there are disadvantages and advantages to both. I'm not saying one is better than the other.
Yes, sir.
I invested in residential for many years. And what I found with the residential, it can be very management intensive. So my philosophy, when you're investing in something, always think with the end in mind. Because if you invest, for example, student accommodation in our country is a very big need. I'm not sure in other countries, but student accommodation is a very big need. However, with student accommodation, it's very management intensive. It requires a lot of time and effort to manage, right? So for some people, that might not be the ideal investment. So if someone is a doctor, for example, I would not recommend that person go and invest in student accommodation. Maybe for them, a better investment would be industrial property, commercial property, where the tenants take care of most of the things in the building, right? Because the tenant in an industrial building is going to take care of their own maintenance. They are going to take care of, if there's anything that needs to be added, like if they need an extra bathroom, for example. Sometimes they'll even build it themselves. They're not going to wait for you as the landlord. Whereas when you think about residential, every time your tenant wants something, you as the landlord, you need to give it to them. Whereas I'm not saying all commercial, some commercial is different. But in some commercial, your tenant does most of the work. You literally can just collect the rent, and the management and the maintenance is minimal. So that is why I enjoy and like, commercial. But there is more demand, obviously, for residential, because most people everyone needs a place to live. So it's easier to find tenants when you do residential property. It's a bit more difficult if your commercial tenants vacate your building, right? So also the size of your deals. When you look at commercial, the size of that deal for me to build a 10 million, portfolio on residential might take 15 years. Whereas if I want to build a 10 million dollar portfolio for commercial, maybe it'll take me 5 years. So to me, it's all about time. And I feel that commercial gives you the advantage of growing your portfolio much faster because the ticket size and the deal size is much larger. That to me, I think, is the biggest advantage. And there are many other challenges also with residential. For example, in our country, if you go and find a residential property and you try to raise money for your residential property from the bank looks at your personal income. They look at what is your salary. That's the experience I had. But if I take a commercial building to them, they don't look at my income. They look at the income from the building. It's a very big difference because my income will always be limited. I'm one person. But if I have many tenants in a commercial building paying the rental, guess what? The bank looks at the building and not so much at the individual. So which means I can access more money from the bank if I use leverage and if I go for commercial properties versus going for residential properties. So look, that's just my own opinion. I'm not saying it's the correct opinion. It's just based on my own personal experience. People need to do whatever is best for them. But that is my view on, why I am more in favor of commercial.
And not your idea, sir, because we do the same thing but differently. So, and then it's not depend on our information, right? When we focus on commercial space, we can have another reason that the banker will be approved to your loans. So can you, if my audience is interested in your course, can we go to enroll that course online? Do you have the website or TikTok or some direct message that we can contract to you?
Okay, so on TikTok, it's Aslam Du Toit, so just my full name. And I've got 3 accounts. Just look for the biggest account. It's got about 90,000 followers now, I think. And the other two are about 12,000, 10,000 followers. So I'm very, very active on TikTok. I reply and read all my messages on TikTok. Sometimes people think if they message me there, I won't reply. I do respond. And if they want to contact me or have a look at some of my information, it is on my website. It's aslamdutoit.com. So they can contact me there as well. I do have a contact form, and if messages come through there, I will read them and I will respond to them. And they can also make bookings. Like I do free 15-minute sessions. If people just want some quick guidance, I give some free 15-minute sessions. So you'll find that booking as well on my website. So people can just book there, and that's another way they can get in direct contact with me.
That is really helpful, sir. So thank you for joining our community today, and I hope you will become the richest man in Southeast Africa. Thank you.
I hope so too. Thanks so much, Tamsai. I appreciate you. I appreciate your community. And thanks so much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.